alone that's added to the squad.
Yeah, well, you go back the week before and Sam Cassiano caused the Warrington Wolves no end of trouble down in the south of France. So I'm not surprised at all to see him back in the mix. And I think, you know, it'll be, you know, a real tonic for Catalan Dragons fans to see somebody of that size and ability out there.
I promise I've been listening intently to everything you have said, so I've picked up that John Wells, you're going with the Catalan Dragons win.
A French love affair for me tonight, yeah. Dragons win this.
Barry McDermott.
Well, I do fancy the Catalan Dragons, but because he's gone for him, I'll go for a Warrington Wolves win with Blake Austin as man of the match.
Well, I wasn't even going to ask you for all of that information, but there you go. You've heard it from Barry. Let's go to our commentary team for this one. It'll be Phil Clark, Terry O'Connor, and we'll say good evening to Ben Pro. Ben.
Good evening, Brian. Good evening, everyone. With the holders already out, Catalan and Warrington can propel themselves to within 80 minutes of Wembley tonight as the winners of 2018 and 2019 go toe-to-toe for a place in the semi-finals of this season's Betfred Challenge Cup. And there is Blake Austin. The late team news just a couple of moments ago. Steph Ratchford out, Blake Austin in. But ahead of this last 8 clash, the players of both sides unite, pausing for 13 seconds to demonstrate there is no place for discrimination in life and in rugby league. Well, Steve McNamara's men produced one of the cup final shocks to deny the Wolves 3 years ago, taking the trophy outside these shores for the first time in its history. But favourites Warrington in red-hot form as Liam Moore gets ready to get this one underway. They're unbeaten in their last 5 League and Cup matches, having inflicted the Dragons' only loss this season in Perpignan a fortnight ago. Remains to be seen, of course, how Warrington will be affected by that late change. Blake Austin so experienced, though, and as the boys were saying, no panic, no concern on the face of Steve Price. Very much like for like as far as experience is concerned. Steph Ratchford, a talented goal kicker. Gareth Widdop, we think, will probably take that role. So Warrington take possession first up with Mike Cooper. And we can go straight back to Jenna Brooks downstairs for an update on Steph Ratchford.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. I can confirm it is a groin complaint. He was planning on playing. Steve Price named him at standoff. Of course, Blake Austin is now replacing him. He warmed up, but he, as I said before, Steve Price came over and spoke to him, and he's pulled up with a groin complaint.
Thanks, Jenna. So it remains to be seen how much that will disturb the Warrington preparation. Steve Price looking for his 3rd Wembley visit in 4 years. Would be just 18 minutes away should Warrington come through this one, but it's a huge test.
Well, what you have got, like Barry said before in the studio, you've got a highly motivated player who's not been picked by the coach. He wants to go out there and really send a message out to him saying, look, I'm still here. I want to play. I want to be a part of what Warrington do on the pitch.
He was doing warm-up drills just half an hour ago along the side, expecting that there wouldn't be any action for him. Pulled in the last minute. This is a big opportunity for him. The other big news for Warrington is that although selected as a centre, it looks as though Greg Inglis will actually play at fullback, where he did finish last week's game when Matthew Ashton was injured and lost that. So Inglis at fullback for a player who hasn't played for so long out of the game here now. That's an incredible amount of running, and Catalan need to kick to make him chase them.
Catalan in possession right now. McAloor and busy in the centre of the field. Unlucky there from Gil Dudson. 250th career appearance for him, as it is for Gareth Widdop on the other side. And here is the first test for Greg Inglis in that full-back position.
Well, I think he's a global superstar. The freedom at the back, like Phil said, he's got to do a lot of movement, a lot of running. Jake Marmor, he was named on the wing. He's playing in the centre. Young Josh Fulis is on the wing. He's another talented player, but this is the speed that they've got up the middle of the field. Look at this.
Toby King is away, got support inside as well, and Darryl Clark is going to be too quick. Warrington red hot inside, a couple of minutes. No Stephen Ratchford, no problem, as Darryl Clark goes in under the posts and Warrington on the board.
Well, they're so strong all over the park, Steve Price's men. We're talking about the full-back in what they've got, the attacking weapon in Greg Inglis, the youngster Josh Fulis and Jake Marmor, but it's right off the guts that they like to get you. One of the standout performers of the last couple of years, Toby King. He gets through, he attracts Sam Tompkins and delivers a perfect pass to Darrell Clark, who's in red-hot form. You know when Toby King gets a ball, whenever he goes into contact, he's got an offload. He's also got a pre-line pass as well. And that's perfect on the button to a man who was never going to be stopped. Great start from the from Warrington.
Darrell Clark looking to get to the big one for the 5th time. He's appeared in 4 of the last 7 Wembley finals. Only got the spoils once in 2019. Runner-up in 2014, 16 and 18. And that last encounter, of course, against the Catalan Dragons. But that is a sensational start for the Wolves. With those kicking responsibilities, 2 points from right in front of the post, and Warrington leads 6-0.
Well, in my opinion, Toby King is Warrington's best attacking player. And what he does here, he runs to the hole in the defensive line. If you look, every rugby league team always leaves a space. Behind the play of the ball, there's a gap. And if you can get into that gap, well, you can certainly make some ground. And they've done more than that. They've scored some points on the back of it. Great support again. The speed and individual brilliance of the players. They've not necessarily created it through team play, but who cares if he gets 6 points?
Try against Hull Kingston Rovers last week, Darren Clark. He opened his account on this ground against his former club Castleford in the opener. So more success at Headingley for the 28-year-old. Man of steel, of course, back in 2014. Warrington, in the shape of Josh Thewlis, collect possession from the restart, and Cooper in strongly again. Here is Clark. This time it's the captain, Jack Hughes, co-captain at Wembley a couple of years ago. That was his 3rd Challenge Cup final in 4 seasons. Cooper. Solid.
I think Cooper and Hill have got a big job on here. A lot of people were saying that, yeah, you look at the size of that and how physical Catalan play it, but you can't take away the fact that Chris Hill and Mike Cooper are 2 quality players that be well up for this challenge.
This is Jason Clark. To the tackle first of Garcia. McAlorum in there as well, as was McMeekin for the Dragons. Last one for Warrington, and it's Austin who puts boot to ball. It's a high one. There's a lot of sunshine around, but Sam Tompkins kept his eye on that and comes up with the answer.
That's not a bad set of 6 after scoring points. That 90 metres they made on the back of a strong kick into the corner. And Catalan, you see Sam Tompkins just looking around and trying to bring his players on. The more you can kick long and turn Catalan around, the more it'll benefit Warrington. If they can play and defend on the front foot, it will really help them with their energy stakes.
Catalan in possession, but already reached the last tackle. There's 26 metres made, and pressure on Malone. He does get the kick away. Straight down the throat, though, of Greg Inglis.
That's something they can't afford to do for the rest of the match. They have to move him around, or even if you look at how deep he is, he's a long way behind his own defensive line. Putting the ball and making him come forward, challenging that kick, knowing that there'll be Catalan players in his face, but that won't be the case. A Catalan penalty, a penalty against Catalan. The referee's going to stop the game here.
Gil Dudson in there for the Dragons.
Toby King goes into contact.
See his shoulder, isn't it? Put into an awkward and dangerous position. Let's hope King's okay. It looks like he's back up on his feet. It's a terrible start here for Catalan. They've had the line broken, they've conceded points, they're giving away penalties. Challenge Cup games, in my opinion, sometimes go quicker than a league match. The referee's going to bring forward a Catalan player here now, Gil Dudson.
That's dangerous contact. That's 10 minutes in the bin, mate.
Sin bin for Gil Dudson. His 250th career appearance has not started well. Catalan 6 down in 6 minutes, and now a man down for 10.
Well, it certainly won't help Catalan. See big Gil Dudson just trying to use the levers, and unfortunately for him and his side, he finds himself off the pitch for 10 minutes. Steve Price will be hoping that Toby King's fine. He'll have no effects from that tackle.
He'll also be hoping that his team have practiced playing against 12 men here and can remember what they need to do to find that extra space.
They've broken the line once against 13, and now they looking to do it against 12. Mike Cooper gets Warrington to within 25 metres of that Catalan line.
Oh, it was
Runners
on
everywhere.
Change of direction. Greg Inglis up the middle, around that ruck area.
Austin held on. Cooper again, so busy early. Went through so much work in this opening 6.5 minutes. Widdop looked one way, came back the other. Austin throws the dummy. Desperate tackle from Maloney, had to be as well. They're going to cling on for as long as they dare here, the Dragons. Last one for Warrington, they're a metre away. It's a dive over, it's a barge over, but it's not going to get there. And Catalan do survive.
It's a massive defensive effort there for Catalan to hang on in this contest. Maloney's try-saving tackle was one. They've backed it up with putting another significant tackle in, and they've denied the Warrington Wolves a chance to go from 6 to possibly 12. Under pressure with just 12 men, they've got to hang on in now during this tough start.
Toby King, the man denied, but now Warrington turning up the heat in defence. Tom Davis, these are really tough metres, but that's going to help. It's a high shot from Josh Charnley.
Oh, leg up Josh Charnley. They go the short side, they don't want to come to the open. They give it Tom Davis. He's been chewing up those metres this year in 2021, and Josh Charnley just let them off the hook. They had them exactly where they wanted them.
Well, he's very intelligent here, trying to slow the game down, maybe take a few seconds over that clock here, because he knows the referee has now cottoned onto that. He's just stopped the clock and put it there to do it again.
Talk about the origin pedigree of Greg Inglis, 32 Queensland appearances. James Maloney, 12 times a representative of New South Wales. Both 34 years of age. Real quality on both sides. There's nowhere for Garcia to go under the tackle there of Clark's Darrell and Jason. Joel Tompkins into Austin's tackle. Mamo in there as well. Drinkwater waits. What can Catalan do in response to this? Cards stacked against them right now. Early doors, of course, but Bousquet plays the ball. Maloney will take it. It's the last one. It's a quick play of the ball, and that gives Drinkwater the time to get that kick away, but Josh Charnley in exactly the right place. Dumped on his back strongly, though, by Garcia.
That's a strong effort, isn't it? He returns the ball really strongly, Charnley. That's how you deal with him. Get under the ball. Come down, legal tackle. Ball played too quick. You can see any time that they win, that man's going to go from dummy half.
Pace in this Warrington attack causing Catalan real problems right now. This is Jack Hughes. Tempo being forced by the Wolves here. They know, of course, that Catalan down to 12 men. Bill Dudson off the field as Widdop turns it back for Chris Hill. Lifted the cup as Warrington captain, of course, back in 2019, Hill. Forward pass in the end. Curry looked busy at the line there, but Catalan a let-off, really.
It was a clever play, wasn't it? Running the ball on the last tackle, the pass does go forward. Chance missed. But you can see the wingers obviously drop back. There's the space on the outside. The Wolves actually conceded several tries last week against Hull Kings Rovers in that fashion. On the last tackle, almost every team expects their opponents to kick the ball. The smart ones now are running it and very often scoring from them.
Milestone afternoon for Ben Curry as well, his 200th career appearance today. Michael McAlorum moves in for the Dragons. Bousquet is tackled. It's a penalty for offside for Catalan. Another leg up the field.
Well, good work from Bousquet. He heard the referee call Mike Cooper and said that he was offside. So what does he do? He picks him straight out, earns his side a penalty by just listening to what the referee's saying.
Will this be the first time the Dragons have the ball inside their opponent's half? I can't remember them having any opportunity to attack in 10 minutes. They've started very well, Wolves, the way they've controlled the field position.
They've had to withstand a Warrington whirlwind in this opening 11 minutes or so. Catalan now have a chance to level things up on the scoreboard. Happy just to be in possession and deep in this Warrington half, as Phil says. 20 metres away. Maloney. McMeekin. Tackle Ben Curry. McLaurin again. Inside is Bousquet. 5 metres away now, the Dragons. Big chance. McLaurin, Drinkwater fires the ball. No way through for Tompkins, though. Joel Tompkins put down by Austin. Sam Tompkins puts boot to ball. It's a delicate kick. Still the last, says Liam Moore. With a kick over the top, another test, and Winnip is underneath it magnificently for the Warrington Wolves.
That's an outstanding take under pressure. Look at that, just 2 metres from your line to come up with a play like that, knowing that if you don't come up with it, the ball probably lands in James Maloney's hands.
Breakneck speed in this opening 12 minutes. Drama before kick-off, and plenty on the pitch as well in the opening exchanges as Jake Mamo faced by Joel Tompkins. There is the try scorer, Darrell Clark. Here is Chris Hill now.
Well, either side will just want to play behind a dominant pack, get your goal forward right before your halves, and your hooker can weave their magic. And your long kicking game, getting out of trouble. Catalan have dropped the fullback and the 2 wingers back, expecting that kick then.
And they've survived about almost, I would say, 7 minutes of the 10 when they're down with a man in the sin bin. So they can get to the end of that without conceding more points. I think they'd see that as a positive.
Tom Davis in hugely positive form right now. 3 tries at Wakefield last Friday. His 3rd Dragons hat-trick makes it 18 in 17 Catalan appearances since his switch from the Wigan Warriors. Here's another former Wigan man, Joel Tompkins, faced by Darrell Clark there and Blake Austin. Langie's pass. Here is Maloney. Still lays it for Sam Tompkins. Farey now back on the inside. Stopped by King. Good battle, that one. Jason Clark applying the pressure as the kick comes in. Inglis takes it majestically under big pressure.
Interesting decision by Drinkwater, not even to challenge for the kick, just allow him to take it and then tackle. I don't know whether you need to score some points or whether you're better making a contest of that catch.
Look at this Dragons defence, led by Garcia. Captain leading by example. Tough meters for Charnley here. Austin takes Joel Tompkins with it.
And that's where he's really good. If you defend at either side of the play, the ball standing a bit wide, he's got a wicked step.
Last tackle. Sam Tompkins watches the kick, thought about the pass, does deliver it to his former Wigan colleague Tom Davis. Look at this Warrington defence, though.
Well, they'll be chasing him down hard. The likes of him, Samisoni Langi, Fuad Yaha, really good on the kick returns. Made plenty of meters getting out of trouble. There it is, Fuad Yaha.
They look like, to me, they've almost hit the wall. They've worked very hard with a man in the sin bin now. They've struggled to get back here in this set, and Warrington, if they can push again here now, it's all about having surge of urgency in the sport when you think your opponents are vulnerable and weak.
Nice pass from Maloney, frees McMeekin temporarily. Tackle comes in from Jason Clark on the last. Maloney will find the sideline, gives his team a breather.
And maybe he recognises, Phil, what you're saying. It ricochets off Gareth Widdop. He was looking at kicking it deep down into the corner. Gil Dudson getting ready to return onto the field.
Warrington have a breather themselves, just some composure here.
Always in games, you're going to be under the pump. You've just got to ride those tough periods, whether it's a man in the sin bin or the territory, playing out of yardage here. That shows how confident this Warrington side is.
Good play.
Fulis plays it for Darrell Clark. This is Mamo. Tackle comes in from Garcia. Cooper now. Nice by opposite number Bousquet. As the Wolves move into that Dragons half. To that left-hand side with Widdop. No way through for Inglis immediately. It was Farey in his face this time.
They need to put him on the floor. He's lost the ball and gained the penalty.
Tackle's complete.
Full complement for Catalan meanwhile.
Doesn't matter. Give the ball, James.
Dodson back on the field.
Hands off.
Well, the referee's saying that this ball was stripped from Maloney. You can see him just tugging onto the ball, and Greg Inglis just leaves going it, knowing that there's 2 men in the tackle. Every time the ball's going to be shifted, the defence are going to be looking out the back for what Greg Inglis is doing.
It's a massive
He
call
decided
here.
to go for 2 points here.
Massive call, isn't it? I mean, it's a difficult attempt for Gareth Widdop. I admire his ambition and bravery here to start the game. You felt as though they were probably the more dominant team. They got a 6-point lead. Maybe they think 2 at this stage would be significant.
Ambitious for the first choice goal kicker, but of course Steph Ratchford, that man on your screen, pulled out late in the build up to this one. So it's Widdop who has assumed the kicking responsibilities. Successful with that conversion of Darrell Clark's try on the 2nd minute.
Stay behind,
That
boys.
was from right in front of the posts. This to put Warrington 2 scores clear. Widdop is on target. Decision might have been questioned, but they've come up with 2 more points. Warrington lead by 8 points to 0.
Well, Steve Price will be looking at his side here, just playing direct, get into the kick. They took the 2-point ton off for now, so it puts a bit more pressure on Catalan. And Steve Price wanting to get back to Wembley,
Time off.
leaving the club at the end of the year, wants to go out, leave some silverware in that trophy cabinet.
Maloney to restart for the Dragons. This is the first of the quarter-finals in this year's Challenge Cup. It's a repeat of the 2018 decider. It's followed by a repeat of the 2006 final at Twickenham as St Helens and Huddersfield go head-to-head. That's an 8 o'clock start following this, again on Sky Sports Mix. 6 again for Warrington.
Move, back with me. Hold.
Hill under the tackle of Garcia.
2. Move.
Here is Cooper.
Back here, back. Goal 2.
Darrell Clark.
Yeah, Ben, there's nothing in these players. They're nice and straight. Forwards running hard onto the ball, getting over the advantage line, making meters after contact.
Widdop. Jason Clark stopped in his tracks there. What a tackle that was from McAlorum.
Release, goal 4.
Darrell Clark again. Chris Hill
Look at
into
that.
Dodson.
They're just attacking the same defenders. Takes away some energy when Catalan have got the ball, and the forwards have asked to do some defensive work. Big high kick here.
Another tester from Blake Austin.
1.
Look at the Warrington chase as well.
Just fall, that's you.
Great work from Yaha.
2.
You can very simply measure here whether the Catalan Dragons can make as much ground as Warrington made. 50-60 metres in that set. They've gone wide to try and get around Warrington. Good offload, nice play.
Brilliant from Mike McMeekin. Frees up Tom Davis.
3. Move now, they off the ball. Goal 3.
To take a risk there to move forward in the face of this Warrington defence.
Yeah, that's good line speed by Jack Hughes, not letting Gil Dudson get any momentum.
McAlorum for Garcia.
5. Move, Chris.
Straight up the middle from the Dragons this time. Not quite the power that Warrington achieved though, as Maloney puts the kick in on the last. Trapped by Inglis, delivered to Charnley.
It's a better kick and it's a pretty strong tackle, but it's now about 5 more strong tackles to end this set and try and prevent Warrington rolling so easily the meters they've made.
2.
Inglis.
All the way, boys. Come on. Hold. Hold.
Garcia, the tackler. He's 18th already in this game. Mamo.
3. Move. Get square. Goal 3.
Darrell Clark skips away, finds Jason Clark. Combination of Dudson and Bousquet hold his progress. Darrell Clark looks up for this one though.
Again, he goes on the back of Jason Clark, not been dominated in defence.
Austin again on the last. It's another high kick. Another test for Tompkins. Passed easily. Tompkins trying to get around the cover.
They seem to be kicking to the same corner. Warrington over bottom right-hand side here. Keep the ball away from this man. They know how good he is bringing the ball back.
Tom Davis.
Hold it, hold.
Sam Tompkins. Far right now. Now Maloney. It's on Dudson. Drinkwater. Bousquet. Last one. Catalan just 40 metres away. Drinkwater, left foot kick. Could go anywhere. It's tapped back by Samisoni Langi. Warrington get there first in the shape of Austin. That was vital. Inside the second quarter already. First 20 gone in the blink of an eye, and just the try inside 2 minutes from Darrell Clark. A penalty from Gareth Widdop as well has given us this 8-0 scoreline.
Well, we didn't expect anything to be much in this game, but both sides feeling each other out. Cooper and Hill made decent meters up the middle of the field. And Joe Philbin, we know how explosive he can be. His introduction from the bench.
Not very much on the pressure on the kicker there now. Austin given lots of time to drop that awkwardly, and Widdop goes through for it.
Knock-on, no advantage.
There's a knock-on called by Liam Moore.
A more dangerous kick, and one that Warrington are willing to challenge. They're not just prepared to allow the fullback a free catch. Gareth Widdop does well here.
Hold. Okay, James,
alongside Toby King, but the referee says a knock-on from Warrington. Not sure whose arm it hits it.
Time's off. Come on, James. Go, time back on.
Warrington ended the Dragons' unbeaten start a fortnight ago. They overturned a 8-0 deficit to win 24-8 in Perpignan.
That was lucky. The referee spotted it off the touch judge. Says it's a forward pass. It's gone forward from Yaha. Through his arms. Was it a poor pass from behind the play of the ball? Is that Alex Da Costa on the field? A bit high, a bit hard. And this is the mistake that Warrington have been waiting about 10 minutes for, working for, I should say, and patiently waiting for.
Okay, Chris. Okay.
What can Warrington do with this opportunity? Jack Hughes, 15 metres away.
One. Move now, Joel.
Pulled to the ground by Joel Tompkins. Josh Drinkwater in there as well. Philbin now.
Two. Move, Julian.
Darrell Clark. So close. Look at the Catalan defence, though. 5 initially in there to halt the Wolves' progress. Mike Cooper it was. Widdop fires the ball to Curry. He tries to find Inglis. It's untidy, and it's good pressure from the Catalan Dragons, and some frustration creeping in here on both sides.
Well, Warrington looked to strip Catalan over on the right-hand side, getting the ball to Greg Inglis, and they thought the ball had been played for by Faraday, and then they're obviously appealing to the referee, saying, well, we didn't know that ball on. The referee's made the decision.
Get square markers, Joe.
It's no surprise to Catalan that Warrington will go to that left-hand side. They've scored almost 3 times as many tries on the left to the right. The favourite, and I suppose with the successful players they've got over that side, you would encourage Greg Inglis to drift to the left and feed them when he can.
Approaching the 25th minute, McMeekin played the ball. Sam Cassiano, so difficult to put down. Trying to get the Dragons on the front foot. Look at the pressure on Drinkwater, though. And that forces untidy passes. It forces a lack of composure. And Warrington really applying the pressure in defence here.
Well, it's good defence from Jake Marmore. You can see that he shoots in on Joel Tompkins. Soon as he goes in, then his winger, Foulis, he's got to come in and react to what his centre does. The pass goes forward. But Steve McNamara knows this side were under a bit of pressure coming out of their own yardage earlier on the field.
Go.
Steve McNamara took charge of the Dragons for the 100th time in last month's win over Salford, a Wembley finalist himself, of course, with Bradford back in 1997. Here is Chris Hill for Warrington, 12 metres away. Will they get a reward from that effort applied in defence? Cooper spinning in to the tackle of Da Costa. Toby King. Just to come back inside, it's lateral for now. Finds a pass for Austin. Here is Mamo. Mamo gets away from a couple, tries to step on the accelerator. Important tackle, vital tackle from Joel Tompkins. Darrell Clark, here is Austin.
4.
Blake Austin,
In the line.
3 or 4 metres away from that Dragons line. Tackle came in from Drinkwater. Widdop, Philbin.
5.
Knew they had a couple of tackles left, the Wolves, to set up. This is the last one. Darrell Clark. The runner is Hill. Chris Hill finds an offload. It's 2 for Darrell Clark. Inside 26 minutes. 2 for the Wolves. 2 for Darrell Clark. And more problems for the Catalan Dragons.
I said it before, Chris Hill, Mike Cooper have done an amazing job ramping up and challenging this Catalan big set of forwards in the middle of the field. You can see that he gets his nose through the line. The big aggressive go forward seems to be really working. The set up out the back for Darrell Clark, but he sees the way that Chris Hill, the intent that he shows to come onto the ball, he gives it him because he knows he's got the power, he knows he's got a decent offload as well. Post contact, that's a big play that seems to be working for them in the middle of the field.
All going swimmingly right now for Steve Price and the Warrington Wolves. Lost Stefan Ratchford in the build-up, but it's not affected too much from where we're looking right now. Gareth Widdop makes it 3 from 3 for him. Warrington out to 14-0 now.
Well, Warrington have 3 of the game's top offloaders in Curry, Hill and Cooper, and capitalising on that ability to offload with men around you, finding a fast player in close support, be it Clark or any of the other Warrington players, is perhaps the key to their success this season. And I think that's a great effort. On the last tackle, it was a big gamble by Clark to give it to Hill, and his ability to keep the ball alive now puts more pressure on Steve McNamara's side. You know, in sudden death cup games, the scoreboard adds to the pressure. I think the clock ticks on, and there's a feeling unlike any of a league match really. You just think the time's running faster and faster. 14 to significant lead. Catalan need to be the next team to score.
80th career try for Darrell Clark. 79th and 80th on this ground this afternoon. West Tigers against Gold Coast in the morning, 8:25, Sky Sports Arena and main event. And on Monday, we have the Women's Challenge Cup for you. Highlights from 8:45. You can see the match between the York City Knights and the Wigan Warriors. Sky Sports Arena and Sky Sports Mix for that. And John Duffy will be Brian Carney's next guest on the coaching manual. You can see that from 8:30, Sky Sports Arena. Darrell Clark finds Philbin. Over halfway for Warrington. More pressure coming up. Approaching the half hour. It's been all the Wolves at Headingley as Tom Davis has ball in hand, deep in his own half. No chance to demonstrate his potent potential right now.
Again, it's a low-risk set from Warrington after scoring points. Big focus on them is getting to the kick and having a real strong effort the next set of 6 that you're defending. You can see they're getting over the advantage line. Warrington pretty quick, putting pressure on Catalan, getting in the face and trying to make it difficult for them.
And that pressure made Garcia have to juggle that ball. Here is Baitieri now. Le Terrier.
Hold, Joe, hold.
Under the tackle there of Jack Hughes. Da Costa fired the ball back, and Maloney with the kick. Could bounce anywhere, and it's come up for Catalan, and Josh Drinkwater finds a lifeline for the Dragons. All Warrington in this opening half an hour. Catalan nowhere near the try line, it seems. And Josh Drinkwater has pinched the ball, gone over the line, and it's a try on the field, says Liam Moore.
We'll never give up on a kick here.
He's offside, isn't he? At the bottom of the screen there, he's offside. You've got to kick to and contest, which is something I think I was critical of the Catalan Dragons for earlier. But look, we're very fortunate that the camera, his foot's over the halfway line.
Yeah.
You don't need a second look at that.
The second player up from the bottom of your screen. That's where he is.
I think the touch judge would be disappointed himself not to spot that live in the game. He hasn't notified the referee, I would imagine. Not communication between them, but clearly offside.
No try, offside.
Confirmed by Liam Moore. And the lifeline that Steve McNamara thought was coming has been snatched away.
And that's the discipline in sport. Stay a metre behind that. Yeah, the ball bounces favourably to Catalan. But if he would have given himself a metre, I think he still would have got there.
That was interesting there. Greg Inglis wanted a quick tap. The referee wouldn't allow him to. He's now going to award the penalty in a different place.
Offside.
Only one loss apiece in Super League this season. Warrington to Castleford in their opener. The Dragons, of course, to the Wolves in round 4.
Boys with me. Only a hold.
Both reached this stage with comfortable quarter-final wins. Catalan accounting for Wakefield by 4 tries to 1, 26 points to 6. Warrington won handsomely at Swinton. Matty Ashton's former club. Problems for him, sadly, as Jenna was reporting pre-match, an ankle problem and a long-term absence.
Well, this is when Steve McNamara finds out about the competitive spirit of his side. You know, 14-0 down in a sudden death cup game. Everything going against them, but they've got to hang on to give themselves a chance.
Tackles in the back for Warrington, and they're only 20 metres away. Looking to strike a big, big blow here. Austin. Darrell Clark on a hat-trick, of course. Gives it to Widdop. Gets away from Maloney's tackle initially. Comes back for Darrell Clark. Widdop. Crossfield kick. Just too long. Nothing that Josh Thulis could do with that.
Well, he thought he was impeded then, Josh Thulis, by Fuad Yaha. When the ball was kicked from Greg Inglis over to the right-hand side, he thought he was just nudged off the ball. When he's trying to get up and tap the ball back inside, so maybe Jake Marmore.
It was a wishful appeal, though, I think, wasn't it, Terry? I think Greg Inglis recognised the kick had gone too far. Didn't seem to want to run with it.
Davis then for the Dragons. Just that one opportunity so far, but they need to find a foothold in this game, and quickly. Sam Tompkins, perhaps the man to find it, under the tackle of Mamo. Lange. Tongan international tries in 2 of his last 3. Got one last week at Wakefield. How they could do with a 4-pointer from Lange right now. It's a set restart, that will help. Drinkwater glides away from one, can't escape Darrell Clark, and it's a one-on-one steal. And it's 6 again, 1 minute, and then within a couple of seconds, the canny Darrell Clark has managed to come up with a one-on-one steal and wrest the ball back for his side.
Well, in the old days, hookers used to win the ball for the team in the scrum. In the contest that took place in the middle of that, no longer are the scrums present at the moment, and so the hooker for Warrington decides the best way he can win it is that one-on-one steal. Great play from him.
And that's changed the dynamic here. Warrington now in attack, in the ascendancy, tackles in the bank as well. It's Catalan looking to attack the Wolves. Here is Philbin charging down the centre of the field. Warrington in the mood, last one. Widdop flicks the ball with that right foot. Tom Davies underneath it, but look where he picks the ball up. It's a high shot.
Well,
Ben Curry it was.
Lunging effort from Ben Curry. He knows the speed that Tom Davies has got, and he doesn't want to get him into top flight before he comes up with the tackle. You can see that he gives the penalty away. He's got no complaints to the referee, and Maloney again just taking his time here, instructing his players what he wants from them.
Ben Curry back to his brilliant best. 3 tries in his last 2 games, including a crucial 4-pointer in that Perpignan win a fortnight ago. McMeekin and a set restart for the Catalan Dragons. Blake Austin, a big job to put down Sam Cassiano. Garcia gets the ball away for Baitieri, and then Garcia sees a hole.
I think this ball movement's better to watch from Catalan. It might cause Warrington more troubles with the defence if they can keep short, fast play passes around the ruck.
Da Costa, Cassiano, Drinkwater. Austin comes in to assist Jack Hughes. Sam Tompkins, Maloney. McMeekin spills the ball, kicks it away in frustration as well.
Well, that right edge last week against Wakefield, particularly in the second half, was really strong. Had an awful lot of joy. Mike McMeekin, when he gets that ball, you can see he's trying to get it, decide where he's going to run before he's actually caught the ball. And Gareth Widdop in his eye line.
Made his Super League debut against the Wolves back in August 2012. Memorable bow for him as well. 62 points to 18 they won at the Stoop. Turns 27 on Monday, Mike McMeekin. Just to turn this round if he's to get an early birthday present. Aquala. On from the substitutes bench. Curry plays the ball 20 metres away. Mulhern now.
It's just relentless go forward from Warrington. You see Darrell Clark just having a look what's on the back of that.
15 away. Austin finds Philbin. They keep coming, Warrington, as you say. Can Catalan keep them out here? Widdop with a nice pass for Austin. Austin flicks the ball anywhere, and Sam Tompkins it is on hand to collect for the Dragons.
Well, Warrington, well, there's a knock on here, or incorrect play of the ball from Catalan. So Sam Tompkins shakes his head in disgust. He disagrees with the referee, Liam Moore. You can see that when he goes into contact, Austin, knowing it's the last tackle, he tries to offload the ball to Gareth Widdop. Sam Tompkins comes up with it, and he's saying that he's not regained his feet to play the ball.
He's lost his balance and control. You need to be, you need to be stood up, don't you, when you play the ball? He falls over it. We're in big trouble here now.
No way, said Sam Tompkins. Can the Wolves find a way over this Catalan line in response? Could be a big moment in the game, this. 3.5 to go. Austin's pass. Hughes looking almost to offload there. Vital defence again from the Catalan Dragons. Samisoni Langi in there. Aquala. Austin. Ball fired left. Widdop. Joe Philbin with the pass. Couple left for the Wolves. Mulhern straightens up, comes back for more. 6 metres away. Last one. This would be heartbreaking if they can find the key here. The Warrington Wolves, but Tom Davies does really well and equally to stay in the field of play under pressure from Toby King.
Well, he rescued that situation then, Tom Davies, with his speed. Anticipated that ball going in. And they're looking to drop the ball over the try line, but again, it's just dominant go forward from the Wolves. Challenge them, the change of direction in the middle of the field. Relentless getting off the line pressure and getting in the eye line. Whoever's catching the ball, along with the dummy runners.
No way through for Baitieri. Da Costa. drink water. On the last, Catalan deep in their own half. And Inglis to return with interest for the Wolves.
Well, it won't be long before he's over the halfway line and Warrington again back in that stronger attacking position. You know, the Wolves have had over 3 times as many play the balls in their opponent's half than the Catalan Dragons, and eventually that territorial dominance, usually in a game of rugby league, shows itself on the scoreboard. They say win the game early, score the points late. Well, it looks at the moment that Warrington have laid all of the foundations to certainly do that.
14-0, the Wolves ahead. Just a minute and a half or so to go in this first period. Sam Tompkins work to do again.
Well, kicking on the third play then from Blake Austin, he thought he spotted some space behind the winger and in between the fullback.
Tom Davis played the ball. Here is Sam Tompkins again. Now Joel. The elder by 2 years, Joel Tompkins. 37 England appearances between them. Nice pass from McMeekin, finds Tompkins, who found an extra man in Farre, and Davis can't get through Williams' tackle.
Best rugby of the game so far. Brilliant skill to transfer it out wide. They get 6 more plays.
It's a set restart, untidy pass. Catalan won't hang around to worry about that. They need a try before half-time. Can they get over the line? Lange. 15 away. And the Warrington reaction will tell you that Samisoni Lange has knocked that ball on. Rueful look from Steve McNamara.
Well, Steve McNamara will want to get his troops in the changing rooms at half-time, say, look, it's not been for us in that first half. We've made a few errors. We haven't had that field position. We've been beaten up in the middle of the field by a team that have come with a game plan, and that's to work over the middlemen. Everyone expected Steve McNamara's men to do a number on Steve Price's men in the forwards. It's not happened, though.
Come on then, boys. Go.
Mulhern plays the ball for Warrington. Dying embers of this first half. The time for one more play the ball, there won't. And it's very much mission accomplished so far as Warrington are concerned, courtesy of a Darrell double. Steve Price watching on, but it's Steve McNamara who has the problems right now. As Warrington, they were down by the Dragons, I should say, in that 2018 Wembley showpiece. But Warrington, the stronger so far. One more play in this first period. Warrington with ball in hand. Darrell Clark to tap. And Widdop goes for a one-pointer. Widdop from range.
Oh, they're going to check here if the ball bounced out. The drop goal didn't go over. Sam Tompkins is saying that the ball's bounced out and it's gone dead. Screaming at the referee.
What an end to the first half.
Well, he goes for the 1 point. Everyone's onside there.
You can't see the bottom of your screen there, can you tell?
Yeah, they're all onside, Phil.
Are they okay? We don't need to check that.
Well, Sam Tompkins said the ball's gone out.
It has,
yeah,
it has
gone out.
Play to the whistle's the old rule, though, and Josh Steelis hasn't forgotten that.
Only inches in it. Warrington do not add to their tally, but it's been the perfect 40 minutes as far as Steve Price and the Wolves are concerned. 2 tries for Darrell Clark either side of a Gareth Widdop penalty. Their 3 scores clear, and Catalan with work to do at the break. At half-time, it's Catalan 0, Warrington 14.
Thanks very much, Ben, Phil and Terry. Catalan Dragons says Ben with work to do. To say the least, there's work to do for the Catalan Dragons.
That's an understatement, and I think the last action of the first half probably summarised the Catalan Dragons' performance. The Warrington Wolves haven't been great, but then they haven't had to be, because the Catalan Dragons have been woeful in that first 40 minutes. It's really disappointing.
Yeah, pre-game setback for the Warrington Wolves. They had dropout of Stephen Ratchford, Blake Austin inserted into their side. They did not miss a beat. Got off to a flying start with Darrell Clarke getting the first of his true tries within 2 minutes of this Challenge Cup quarter-final between the Dragons and the Wolves. Warrington with a healthy 14-0 half-time lead. Analysis after this. Challenge Cup quarter-final weekend. It's a competition, I should say, that means so much to so many. In 2020, Ian Watson took Salford to their first Wembley final. In 51 years, he is tasked with taking the Huddersfield Giants back to Wembley and hopefully a victory for the first time in 68 years. St Helens hoping to win their first trophy in the Challenge Cup competition for 13 years. Remarkable statistic when you consider the side as successful as St Helens. Well, we're at the halfway point in game one of our double-header. It's the Catalan Dragons trailing the Warrington Wolves 14 points to nil. A couple of tries for Darrell Clarke, 3 successful kicks for Gareth Widdop, partnering Blake Austin in the halves. We'll have a look at the first half statistics. Majority of possession was with the Warrington Wolves, 56-44. Tackles made, 227 for the Catalan Dragons, just 162 for the Warrington Wolves, reflecting the possession that they have had in that game. What those stats will probably not tell you, John, is that we witnessed a very scrappy 40 minutes from both sides, it must be said.
Yeah, I would 100% agree. There's a secondary stat there as well that refers to play the balls in opposition halves. I think and that reads 40 to the Warrington Wolves and only 14 to the Catalan Dragons. So not an awful lot there that whichever way you want to construe it, that Warrington are allowing the Catalan Dragons to do, or that Catalans are creating for themselves. Conversely, with the Warrington Wolves, with 40 starts inside the opposition half, they should be more than 14 points in front.
That may be the most important point for the Catalan Dragons coming out of this, that they're only 14-0 down considering how they played in that first half. Let's have a look at the tries and that start for the Warrington Wolves through Darrell Clarke, courtesy of a Toby King break.
Yeah, really early on in the game, and this is where they hurt them a couple of weeks ago in the league, in behind the ruck. I think the A defenders, they're standing maybe just half a yard too wide. They're not able to deal with the pace back in behind the ruck. And Darrell Clarke, who's so often the guy who gets in behind, gets on the end of Toby King this time, who gets too soft, that's too easy. And Darrell Clarke is in support, 6-0 on 3 minutes, and you said they're off to a flyer. That was just compounded by the actions of the Catalan Dragons, who I think have let emotion get the better of them. I said at the start of this broadcast that it was a really emotional ride for the Catalan Dragons. They've looked anything but composed. Gil Dudson there has tried to chicken wing Toby King and has given 10 minutes in the bin.
All right, so down a man, down a score, and the Warrington Wolves then would continue to pile on the pressure.
Yeah, an attempted strip, we think, from James Maloney. Greg Inglis has just let go, and then Gareth Widdop, well, he's a very, very good kicker in his own right, isn't he? He's been very, very accurate from the boots. That's 8 points to nil. Look at this from the Catalan Dragons. So really good carry from Sam Cassiano. But this just summed up their first half. They get something on the front foot, and then they overplay, they force the issue. Yeah, there's some half-decent defence there from the Warrington Wolves, but it's forcing too many errors, giving up too much possession, not asking enough questions. The Warrington Wolves, I don't think, asked any serious questions. Look at that from Blake Austin on the third tackle. But then again, Brian, they haven't had to ask serious questions. This is the build-up to the last play and build-up to Darrell Clarke's second try. Last tackle. They're going to go route one with Chris Hill, and guess what? They've had enough joy from going route one that they'll carry on going there all night. No serious questions asked, haven't had to ask serious questions, still 14 points in a low.
One of the interesting selections, positional selections when the game started, was the decision to play Greg Inglis at full back. A long time since he's played. They haven't, the Catalan Dragons, for a variety of reasons, been able to exploit maybe a lack of match fitness from Greg Inglis. Any kicks that have gone to him have been far too easy for a man of his ability to deal with.
Yeah, there's a couple of things. First of all, the Warrington Wolves defence has meant that the Catalan Dragons have been kicking from deep. We were watching Greg Inglis and he's sitting way off the defensive line, right in the backfield. Look, if you've got a bloke who's been out of the game for 2 years, I don't care how good he is, and he's lacking that match fitness, and you play him at fullback, the most aerobically demanding position on a rugby field, then the last thing you do is kick down his throat. Now, as I said, that's been made difficult for the Catalan Dragons kickers because of the defence, the first-up defence from the Warrington Wolves. But they've not asked any serious questions of Greg Inglis either.
Or play with some shape and drag Greg Inglis up
do
the field.
Something. Yeah. Do something to avoid him. He's operated in a channel that's probably 30 metres long and is the width of the uprights at the moment in defence. It's been too easy for him.
OK, but if you're a Catalan Dragons fan, your side are just 14 points down. You haven't had possession, you haven't had field position, and you're still very much in this game, though. Lots of work to do for them. We've got the second half from this quarter-final tie at Emerald Headingley, the first of a double-header we've got for you here tonight on Sky Sports, with the Warrington Wolves leading 14-0 at half-time. Second half on the way. Note for the diary, we've got Betfred Super League action coming up for you on Friday the 14th of May. The Leeds Rhinos in action against Wakefield. They met, of course, in round one. Leeds winning out 28 points to 22. That will be on Sky Sports Arena and also available on the Sky Sports YouTube channel, 7:30 p.m. next Friday. And then hopefully, fingers crossed, there will be a limited but very welcome return of crowds to Betfred Super League action. The Warrington Wolves and Huddersfield Giants should be playing in front of spectators for the first time in a very long time. That's 7 p.m. Monday, May the 17th on Sky Sports Arena. Tonight our focus is on Betfred's Challenge Cup action, and at half-time in the first of the 4 quarter-finals on this weekend, it's the Warrington Wolves with a 14-0 half-time lead over the Catalan Dragons. A couple of tries for Darragh Clark. The first of those just 2 minutes into the first 40 minutes. OK. We've had a look at those match statistics. Far more defence done by the Catalan Dragons, far less possession, far more play the balls in the opposition half of the field for the Warrington Wolves. So all favouring the Warrington Wolves on the statistics board, but perhaps not fully reflected on the scoreline, which will give the Catalan Dragons plenty of hope.
Certainly not, and that'll be part of the team talk in that dressing room at half-time, because they register the first points, which they don't need to do in the first 10 minutes, first 15 minutes. I do feel like they need to be the first to score. Defensively, like you said, they've been on their heels. I think tighten up that A defender, the first marker in the line, either side of the ruck, and that will negate an awful lot of the threat that the Warrington Wolves have thrown at them this
You went
first
for
half.
the Catalan Dragons pre-game. Have you seen anything in that 40 minutes to suggest you may be right?
No, but a game is 80 minutes long, Brian, so...
It is indeed. And to fill the 80 minutes, let's bring you back to Terry O'Connor, Phil Clark and Ben Pro.
Thanks very much, Brian. Only the second time this season that the Dragons have trailed at half-time. The other also against Warrington, en route to their only defeat of 2021. Steve Price firmly in the box seat to move within 80 minutes of a third Wembley visit in 4 years right now. Former Dragons coach, of course, Steve Price, with the St George Illawarra club in Australia. And everything going right as far as the Wolves are concerned right now. Quarter-final winners over the Dragons in 2012. They went on to lift the trophy for a third time in 4 years. They go on and beat Steve McNamara's men. Is that an omen for more Wembley success for the Warrington Wolves? 9 times the winners of this prestigious trophy. Maloney collects the kickoff. Batiri.
I think we're going to see a different attitude in the opening 10-15 minutes in this second half. Let's see what the intent's going to be like from the forwards carrying the ball. Are they going to try and make inroads down the centre field here against the Wolves? And I tell you what, the Wolves will be expecting it's a forward pass. Well, Cassiano just trying to get over that advantage line early on. Ulrich da Costa throws that ball forward 20 metres from the line.
It's part of the problem, the fact that he doesn't pass the ball from the floor. I would say he picks it up to about the knee height before he releases the ball, and that fraction of time that he's lost the ball there, in that stage, that's one step that makes it a forward pass. It was a simple message, I guess, for Catalan: go hard or we'll go home.
And there's any big man that's coming out of trouble, you want the ball early, you want it off the floor, you want to pick your target of who you're going to run at.
Warrington struck inside 2 minutes in the first half, and they are in a gilt-edged position here. courtesy of that error from Alric da Costa to strike again early in the second.
3. Move off the ball. Hold. Goal 3.
Mulhern plays it 15 metres away. Whittam. This is Inglis, and Inglis trying to get away from one.
Well, there's a high shot from Mike McMeekan. He's got a really good fend, hasn't he, Greg Inglis?
He's injured here, Terry.
Yeah, he cops one, doesn't he?
Shoulder.
Time's off.
Went down really awkwardly.
Well, he cops one. Like I say, when the ball goes out wide and he's the man who's out the back and he's going to hit it, you've got eyes for him as a defender. See the big fend on Maloney, cops one round the chin, falls awkwardly. I think he's going to be okay.
Is it a penalty and will they kick a goal? I guess that's the decision that's taking place between Gareth Whittam, Ben Curry and co.
You'd take points here, wouldn't you?
Time back on.
Breaking plays, giving Whittam a chance to rest, bring his heart rate back down here now. And 10 metres in from touch, the way he's kicked tonight, you'd back him here now to take this from 14 to 16-point lead.
Stay on side, boys.
Yeah, where he's positioned, it might be difficult for him. You can see him just trying to shield his eyes from the scrum. He wanted to take it a couple of metres back towards the sideline just to get out of the sun and into the shade.
Gareth Whittam, there's the angle. The 32-year-old has his 250th career appearance, remember. And 2 more points for the Warrington Wolves. They lead 16-0. 2.5 gone second half. What was said at half-time, Jenna?
Yeah, Ben, the Catalan Dragons head coach Steve McNamara felt that his side clocked off in that first half, but he is confident that they can play their way back into this game. Steve Price, of course, was pleased with the first half. He said that they were defensively sound and feeling like his side are certainly in the box seat.
Thanks very much, Jenna. Points within the first 2 minutes of the game and points within the first 2 in the second half. Warrington just gently extend that advantage to 16-0.
Time you run.
They will have the ball back in a minute. Chances for Catalan, few and far between. Go back to that disallowed Just Drink Water effort on half an hour. Even for offside. It's the right call. But they haven't seen a lot of this Warrington try line. Now trying to apply some pressure in defence here.
They'll create enough chances, Catalan, no doubt about that. They've got so many X-factor players. On the back of some strong defence, that's what they need to base this second half challenge on. They can't just turn the ball over cheaply like they did with the pass from da Costa to Sam Cassiano.
Philbin with a strong run. Whittam on the back of that. 0 tackle call, and Philbin has it back for the Wolves.
And again, it's just on the back of just some hard work. Roll your sleeves up if you're a forward. Run really hard. Let's play off the back of that.
Here is Mamo now.
1. Move right off the ball. 6 again.
Nice offload from Philbin. It's a 6 again now for Warrington. King held by McMeekan. Darryl Clark. Mulhern. Strong tackle. Nice here it was. Aquala.
3. Move. Hold now. Hold.
Solid progress down the middle again from Warrington. Is that the prelude to more points? Austin has it.
4. Move all the way over it. Come back with me. Hold. Goal 4.
Darryl Clark. Whittam with a little chip over the top. Read all the way by Fuad Yaha.
They're looking to mix it up then. Gareth Whittam with a little chip over the top, going for it. And the ball mainly played in centre field. You can see that when Blake Austin is looking and at the back of the rucker, he's targeting those bigger players. And you can see Gareth Whittam going, trying to strip the ball.
Goal 3rd, diving.
Things going to plan very much for Warrington on the field, but before kick-off they lost Stefan Ratchford in the late stages building up to this, and he's downstairs with Jenna.
Yes, Steph, you were named in the halves. You were meant to play. You didn't. What happened?
Yeah, just pulled up with a tight groin in warm-up, so obviously we had no backs on the bench either, so it wasn't worth risking the start of the game.
So there was no concerns before warm-up?
No, fine. But like I said, we had Blake as well, who obviously is unlucky to miss out, or was missing out. So yeah, it was just probably an easy decision for the staff and for myself to make, with Blake being able to cover.
How did Blake Austin take the news?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I was speaking with the physio, and obviously the message went back to him. So when I got in there, he was getting ready, so I didn't want to distract him.
Confident you'll be right for Monday week in front of fans?
Yeah, should be no problem. Like I said, it was just, I think, if it was a final, probably could have pushed and played. But like I said, with Blake being available, then it was probably the smart decision to give this one a miss and be right for next week.
Speedy recovery. Thanks for talking to us.
That was interesting. Everyone's obsessed with quick play the balls. There's the game we'll see, on Monday the 17th of May, when Warrington play Huddersfield with some Cray back in there. It was a slow play the ball that got Warrington a penalty, gets them up over the halfway line.
Can't wait to have fans back to watch the players of the Super League and the Challenge Cup. We've missed you so much.
Two players are offside, 2 players.
Warrington have dominated the opening 6.5, second half, just as they did in that first period. Ben Curry.
1. Move! Hold this 10, Elricks, hold Elricks! Go 1.
McMeekin was the tackler. King finds Widdop.
Surrender!
Costa over the top this time.
Stand! 2, hold Sammy, hold! Go 2.
Darryl Clark. Austin. No way through though. Philbin still going though, meters after contact. Impressive, but 3 Catalan defenders. And now Austin almost stepped away. Good tackle from Sam Tompkins. Ball flung out to Widdop. Puts on the brakes, comes back inside.
5. Move off the ball! Hold. 5.
Austin puts boot to ball.
Great pick.
Davis, brilliant pickup.
Everyone talks about wingers and Emery tries to score, but the defensive play that they're involved in is equally as important. And tonight, Tom Davis has kept his side in this contest, almost 50 minutes into it. I know they're 16-0 behind. They do need to score 3 times. But we've seen the sport swing very much on the back of 1 try. Catalan just need to find the first to give themselves some hope.
Need to foul the field position for now. Late in the tackle count already. 22 metres made. Just 25 metres away from their own line as Joel Tompkins fires the ball out to Fuad Yaha. And Yaha is quick. Good tackle though. Fulis applied the pressure late on. Ball was lost, and now for dissent it's a Warrington penalty.
Well, they're under some pressure here, aren't they? 16 points behind on the scoreboard. You can see that Fuad Yaha loses possession, he loses the ball on the floor. Young Josh Fulis pushes him over the sideline, but it's the mistake that the referee awards. And then it's the back chat from Catalan. This is a team that's behind on the scoreboard. You can't do that.
I don't think the Catalan players had seen the knock-on that we saw with that replay. I think they thought the tackle had been completed, and that was their frustration. I'm not condoning it at all, and I understand it's a penalty against them for dissent. But I think that's why they reacted the way they did.
Challenge Cup, of course, no second chances. Just over half an hour left. Warrington closing in on a place in the semi-finals. Rob Mulhern with a strong run.
Nice little tip on from Aquala then to him.
Let go, Josh. Hold.
Drinkwater told to release. Aquala trying to step over the top there of Garcia, who was having none of it.
6 again.
To restart though for Warrington. 6 again as Widdop has ball in hand. And then Austin loses the ball.
The frustration back the other way. They know they haven't seen off their opponents yet. The Dragons are still a threat, 16 behind. And Austin loses it, bounced off his knees, and Gareth Widdop inexplicably picks it up. Penalty and a kick to touch, and you're hoping somewhere there's a spark coming from this Catalan side. We've seen very little life in them today. Stymied by Warrington's defence, an excellent play. But somewhere amongst all that experience, many players who've played at the highest level, and he's hoping one of them can find a way of unlocking this Warrington defence.
Half an hour to go. Time beginning to run out for the Dragons. They need something quickly. They're in possession. They're in the Warrington half of the field. looking dangerous in the shape of Joel Tompkins.
Can they go penalty try here now? The referee's given them an opportunity to get into a position and Drinkwater goal. They practice this now. It's a late tackle. In fact, almost a sin bin, I would say, sometimes there for Jack Hughes.
Back-to-back penalties then for Catalan Dragons. Thought for a moment that Mulhern had managed to pinch the ball, but the Dragons continue, and Drinkwater finds Maloney, short ball. McMeekin, though, no way through Widham's tackle. Set restart. Pressure from Catalan. Drinkwater needs some composure here. Flicked out by Cassiano. Bateri just a couple of metres short. Maloney, Sam Tompkins, Farey, Fleet, Davis chance. Warrington defence equal to it.
Well, good communication from Warrington defending the line, knowing that that man is a danger, and Farey looks to try and set him free. But you've got to be confident on the man who's defending on your inside. You can see Josh Jarnley knew that Toby King had Farey covered, and he just had to look up and see what was in front of him.
Jarnley takes the cameraman as well, just to make sure. Ball and man and cameraman.
OK then, Joe. OK, Joe. Come on then, Joe.
There is Mark. Thumbs up.
He's OK.
One. Movement.
Charnley.
Hold me, Ben. Hold. Go one.
McMeekin with the tackle. Darryl Clark away for Inglis.
Two. Move. Hold it.
Thierry.
Hold.
The tackle.
Hold two.
Philbin.
Trying to get to Josh Drinkwater then.
Move now, Josh.
With a decent dog.
Hold here.
Just turning him over on his back, making it a bit slower, which is exactly what Catalan need to do.
Four. Move. Back up here. Back. Go. Four.
Matt Davis plays the ball.
Move. Five. Go. Five.
Last one coming up for Warrington.
Go five.
Austin. Widham. Kick all around the ground. That's all Warrington need to do. Toby King with the kicking responsibilities, but it's the right result.
Well, they had a little look up. They were going to run that ball, try and catch him out on the edges, because Davis had dropped back, and sometimes from the halfway line. That's a good place to attack, because the wingers do drop back, which exposes a bit of space out wide. But they reacted well. They recovered Catalan and plugged those holes.
Catalan in the shape then of Garcia.
Move off the ball. Go one. Two.
Bateri.
Move. Back with me. Hold. Go two.
Part one, of course, of our double header.
Third.
Second quarter-final to follow. St Helens against Huddersfield, head-to-head from 8 o'clock on Sky Sports Mix.
Move.
Cassiano plays the ball. It's a decent play the ball as well. De Costa on the back of it for Drinkwater. Now Sam Tompkins. Can't get away from the Warrington tacklers, though. Slowed down by Philbin. Last one. Drinkwater drifts a kick over the top. Fewless. Excellent under that. Composure as well. Found the ground, played the ball. Warrington start again.
He's good in here. He's very confident at the back. Young Josh Fewless made the name as a full-back. So anything that goes up high, he knows it's his job. He's got to take it.
Move. Back with me. Hold here. Hold.
Only turned 19 last week.
Go free. Tangled.
Made an impressive Super League debut at full-back in that 34-4 home win over the Dragons back in 2019. Cooper. Bateri with the tackle. Austin hammers the ball downfield on the last tackle. Collected by Tompkins. Sam Tompkins taking on Curry.
And that's better defence from Catalan. You see Sam Tompkins here just manhandled at the back. And super impressive this year. I've been really impressed with this man as well, Tom Davis.
They need a magic play though, don't they? And you wonder whether, like, I don't know, a chip, or there has to be some variety here. They've not looked at all of threatening Warrington's defence. It's been excellent, and with Cooper back on the field and maybe Hill pretty soon, it's going to be hard to run through the middle of them.
I think they need that field position, Phil. I think they need to be nearer the line.
Josh Drinkwater trying to get them there. Decent play of the ball. Maloney, Sam Tompkins tried to cut through Widdop, cut down by King.
Back here, back.
15 away. Maloney spilled by Garcia. That will hurt the captain. Another chance, a rare chance for Catalan, comes to nothing.
They're disappointing in this game.
That's terrible.
Yeah,
that
really
is terrible.
Really disappointing.
Should he have passed it to Drinkwater, or should Garcia been able to catch it? I'm not sure, but that's really poor. You don't deserve to be in the next round. They put so much effort in defensively in the last few minutes to restrict Warrington. Worked really hard. You then need some skill and some energy with your attack, and they clearly didn't have it good enough in that set.
The clock, not Catalan's friend right now. 4 minutes short of the hour mark. That'll help, though.
Right, let's see what they've got in this set of 6 then. Catalan. What's Maloney, Drinkwater, Sam Tompkins? What can they just muster up here?
Isn't it a pity we don't have scrums back in the game? I can't wait for them to return. That will be fascinating to see the Dragons backline attacking from a scrum centre field there.
As it is, McMeekin takes the ball forward for the Dragons. Da Costa's pass for Garcia holds on this time. Batiri to within 8 of that Warrington line. Big chance, they need to take it. Drinkwater's pass, flick over the top, but Thewlis is there for Warrington. And Warrington now trying to launch their attack.
Well, they look like they had the numbers, but how composed is this youngster here? Spots the pass, is going to be a slow pass before it gets to the centre. And he comes up trumps. Good play from the youngster. Come in, close the play down, didn't allow the ball to go to Sami Sonilangi. They get the penalty now, coming out of trouble. And they've received 8 penalties in this game. Warrington, now from the referee, Liam Moore. And Catalan, just when you thought that, yeah, this is going to be a good period in the game for them. This is where they want to build that pressure through Sam Tompkins at the back, looking at what's in front of him. They've not helped themselves in this game.
I've always found, Terry, in watching the Challenge Cup for the last 30 or 40 years, that good sides, when they get an opportunity, they kill off their opponents, extinguish any hope. And Warrington here now, if they are a really good side and are going to lift the trophy at the end of the year, well, in a few months' time, I should say, then the ability you know, to strike and score shows the class that they might have.
Darrell Clark first up. This is Curry. Taken by Dudson. Inglis waits. It's to Widdop. Now Cooper. Widdop. King. Faris shot out to the line to close the space down. Last one for Warrington. Widdop with it. Little kick, he's chasing it himself here. Brave play from Davis there. Competent play and vital contribution.
Well, that's good vision, isn't it, from Gareth Widdop? And you want all your players, your ball players, to play with their eyes up, and that's exactly what he did then. But again, Tom Davis to the rescue at the back, sweeping up everything. That's good play, delicate kick, but again, bravery from Davis.
Yaha then for the Dragons.
All the way back. Not square, Mike Cooper.
Bousquet. Good tackle from Matt Davis. Thewlis in a brilliant position. Gets through the first tackle as well. Gets ahead of steam up. Thewlis down the centre of the field. Real pace as well.
Outstanding play from the youngster. Not only to get that ball from going into touch, but his kick return.
Incredible. Is that going to lead to more Warrington points? It's not for now. Davis has got the ball back. Tom Davis for the Catalan Dragons. Here is Sam Tompkins.
Well, they've got just less than 20 minutes here, haven't they now? They probably need 20 points.
Relax, boys, relax.
Push and shove here now with Greg Inglis. Warrington have got to go quickly. The clock's ticking against them. Sam Tompkins hit high. Can Warrington's concentration in defence continue for the full 80? I guess that's what they've worked for. That's what their aim is.
Dudson for the Dragons. Tackler is Philbin. Da Costa, Drinkwater. That's Maloney. Now McMeekin.
2. Move on, get square.
And Curry over the top.
Trap in.
Matt Davis as well.
Go 2.
Da Costa. That was Garcia. Here is Bousquet. Drinkwater. Sam Tompkins. Yeah! What a tackle. Fewless again.
Great work from the youngster yet again.
Sam Tompkins. Garcia. Gets away from one, finds an offload. Bousquet on the charge. Warrington have to withstand 2 more here. Dudson flicks the ball, comes to Drinkwater through the legs for Farah, over the top. It will be in. McMeekin scores for the Dragons. Mike McMeekin inside the last quarter. What have Catalan got left? This one isn't over yet.
Well, Warrington's defence was so impressive for so much of this set, and it would take something special to score. An element of luck and some ambition and skill there. Flick pass, that's a great ball there from Dean Farah to Mike McMeekin. And if they are going to win this, well, wow, we're going to be in for a treat in the last 15 minutes. Because they're going to have to keep the ball alive. Warrington's talk and movement of players off the ball, out of vision, you couldn't see, was sensational. And that's why Catalans struggle so much and have struggled for almost an hour to get over the try line. Really good communication and team effort to prevent the Dragons from scoring, but eventually they find a chink and maybe a glimmer of hope for Mike McMeekin and the Catalan Dragons.
Mike McMeekin, Basingstoke-born, a former West London Shark. How he would love to get to Wembley in the colours of the Dragons. It's a long road right now. Steve McNamara knows that his side have given themselves a glimmer of hope.
1 minute, James.
And Super League's top goal kicker is in attendance to try and improve matters from almost the sideline. 21 from 25 attempts this season in Super League. Kicked 5 from 5 in the cup defeat of Wakefield. The Dragons could do with this one going over. James Maloney, a picture of concentration. This for a 10-point ball game. Straight between the posts. Catalan 6, Warrington 16.
Well, this is exactly the confidence what they needed. Steve McNamara's men come up with the try, and it's that unstructured play. When you look at French sides going back all those years, this is the sort of players that they come up with. Outstanding effort, throwing caution to the winds, picking up loose passes, going on offload, going off a quick play of the ball.
Stay behind.
Wow, is Warrington going to be a bit nervous now? 17 minutes to go, 10 points in it. They finished strong last week, Catalan, when they played Wakefield. Can they come up with the same sort of finish in this game?
But the tails up right now, the Dragons, and Davis in possession.
Goal 2.
5 tries in his last 4 matches, remember.
3.
Key strike weapon for the Dragons. They need something from him right now. McMeekin, the Dragons try scorer.
More ball movement, strong running out wide.
Move now! Hold there, hold, hold.
If they could get over for back-to-back tries here, Catalan, that would make things really interesting as we approach the last quarter of an hour.
Move, get square.
That's the last. Maloney,
Gill.
over the top. Watched all the way.
Move, hold it dead, hold.
You could see what Davis was thinking as he hit the floor. He was trying to get Inglis into the touchline.
Move, hold it here.
Kick wasn't quite close enough.
Goal 2. That's you, Josh, that's you.
Willop gets the pass away. King grounded heavily by Garcia. Hunting the ball here, Catalan Dragons, to restrict these Wolves meters as well.
4. Move. Hold.
4 gone already, just 16 on the board as Mamo gets away from 1. Trying to find a hole. Almost through that hole. That's really important defence from James Maloney.
Good pressure from Dudson on Widdop.
Does get the kick away. Not the distance he would have liked.
Oh, no way!
Gil Dudson, you've got to make a genuine attempt to tackle. You don't, mate. You've got to make a genuine attempt to tackle.
Gil Dudson is the guilty party here.
It's the technique that he's been criticised for. If his arms were open in a rapid motion, he gets away with it. He isn't led. It's the fact that he hasn't made an attempt to tackle on a kicker that was viewed to be dangerous here now. And it's really let all the air out of this balloon.
And they'll just take the sting out of the game here. Warrington go for 2 points. Gil Dudson will shake his head. Already spent 10 minutes in the sin bin. And you just felt that they were building the Dragons. Steve McNamara's men seemed to just start to get a foot in the door and having some joy on the back of scoring the first points of the game.
There's the sun in the eyes of Gareth Widdop. Gil Dudson, a grand final winner against Warrington back in 2013 in the colours of the Wigan Warriors. It's been a 250th career appearance to forget so far. Steve Price's men just taking this sting out of the situation. They recognise there's been a mini revival from the Dragons. So Widdop looks for 2 more points. He hasn't found them, but they've certainly taken some of the steam out of the Catalan riposte.
I didn't think it made much difference anyway. The way that Maloney's been goal kicking, they're going to have to score 2 tries, the Dragons, anyway. And 18 doesn't make a significant difference.
I think the only thing that they might have done there, Phil, with the time against them, maybe gone for a drop goal. And that might have just sealed it for the Wolves.
1. Move, George.
In possession, though.
All over me. Hold. Go on.
Austin. It's 5 metres over that halfway line.
It's probably better missing, wasn't it? 2 minutes out of the clock and they got the ball back, guaranteed.
Go 2.
Darrell Clark, Widdop. Cooper.
Move now. All the way, Gil. Hold. Go 3rd.
Darrell Clark.
4. Move.
Curry.
Hold now. Hold.
Widdop. Chris Hill. Met by Dudson there.
Release him. 5. Hold the 10. Go 5.
Darrell Clark. Widdop. Ball could go anywhere, and then Curry comes forward off him.
Oh, he just couldn't get it then, Ben Curry, but again it was a clever kick, wasn't it, from Gareth Widdop. He's tormented him over on Warrington's left-hand side, threads it through behind the line. Farah does enough just to put Ben Curry off.
And the Dragons need 10 points, don't they? At a minimum in just over 10 minutes. Very hard to see them strike from here. They're going to wide here with Lange, maybe some offloads, so you're not seeing a lot of support around the ball carrier at the moment.
All the way back. Hold here.
It's a huge ask for Steve McNamara's men right now. As Garcia goes in.
Move, Jack, off the ball. Hold.
Warrington have put the hard work in. They lead
4.
significantly on the scoreboard, but the job is not done yet.
That's you, Gil. Come on.
Drinkwater, Sam Tompkins, wide is Fuad Yaha, faced by Thulis, has to fling the ball back to Lange. More good work in defence from the 19-year-old. Sam Tompkins hoists it high. What a take.
Surrender.
Well, at least Maloney got off to challenge for it, didn't he? He made it a more difficult catch for Greg Inglis. In the first half, they had an opportunity with Drinkwater where they just allowed him the free take. I mean, he's played over 100 games as a fullback in the NRL, 7 times for Australia, Greg Inglis. So, although many people over here think he was a centre, and that's where Warrington expected him to feature for them, as time goes on, he might just fill that fullback role.
Davis for the Wolves.
tackle back. Hold. Go 5.
Wembley winner 2 years ago, Davis, former London Broncos and Scholars forward. Special moment. Sam Tompkins collects on the full. Taken down by Curry. As the clock ticks on to the last 10 minutes. 10 points the difference. Catalan, though, in possession.
2. Move down. Hold. 2.
Again, though, if they're going to run forward with the ball as Fouad Yaha does there, they need some people pushing up with him, hoping that something else is going to happen, or holding some defenders off him. Busco again, more or less on his own.
They need to chance their arm, the Dragons. There are no second chances in the Challenge Cup. 6 again, though. Cassiano has to step out the tackle of Matt Davis, can't do it. Maloney.
2. Move down. Back.
McAlorum. Cassiano. Garcia. Meters tough to make here, though. Put a dent in this Warrington defence. Struggling so far. McAlorum, Drinkwater. Sam Tompkins has to go back. 0 tackle, though.
Well, for where they're attacking here, there's just too many Catalan players walking, not getting back behind the ball, offering themselves. The attacking shape doesn't seem good enough. They're just trying to set themselves out now over on the right-hand side for the shift.
Here it is. Maloney decides to go back on the inside. Busquets flicks it back. Past Drinkwater into Garcia, but they're going backwards here. Good tackle, Darryl Clark. Maloney back on the inside. No way through for Cassiano. Curry with the tackle. Runner is McAlorum.
4. Get out of there, Chris. Hold.
Busquets. Now or never, you feel, for the Dragons. Drinkwater. Garcia. Last one. 5 metres away. Drinkwater puts a kick in.
Knock on by Hill, 6 more here. They've got time. They need that sense of urgency now for the Dragons.
They're going to get another set of 6, Phil, but again, the last player, look how many players are stood still.
Well, they have worked hard. We saw in the first half, didn't we, that they didn't have much of the possession. Maybe the petrol tank's running down. Age may be another issue for them, but we might talk about that after the match. For now, they just need some points.
Well, they've given themselves a chance. They've got 6 more tackles here. They start this set just 10 metres away from the Warrington line. McMeekin, he's got one. He's under a pile of bodies there, trying to get the ball down. What say Liam Moore?
I have no try.
No try on the field.
Well, they do a decent job here, Catalan, of actually getting to the line. But is it King or is it Widdup that actually gets underneath McMeekin and clamps hold of the ball? Well, Mike McMeekin doesn't think he scored the try. He's already setting up 10 metres out.
It's close. It's close, isn't it? The longer the video ref looks, the more air that can get into the Warrington lungs. They're desperate here now. They've worked really hard.
This, Phil.
Well, then, in that case, Catalan would like to get on with it quickly, wouldn't they? They want to go again now.
No try. Held up. Tackle 2.
Liam Moore confirms.
Well, good desperation here for Warrington, because if that try would have been awarded with Mike McMeekin, it would have been game on.
Not done yet, though. The Dragons still in possession. Here is Garcia.
Move, Chris. In the line.
Well, what a finish, love, if they can get over the line here.
McAlorum on the bounce. Cassiano.
4. Move down. 4. Play on.
Can they set up a blockbuster finish here, Catalan Dragons? Sam Tompkins, short ball, McMeekin. Curry in there, Widdup in there.
Release now. Go 5.
McAlorum. That was Maloney. Garcia finds Sam Tompkins. Joel Tompkins, and then Lange can't take it in. And is that the moment that Warrington see themselves through to the semi-finals of the Challenge Cup in 2021?
Did it come off Jake Mamo's hand? He throws that right hand out.
Yeah, I think Catalan are going to get the ball back here, Phil.
Yeah, well, Jake Mamo, who was sort of an interception 2 weeks ago in France, couldn't intercept it. He's knocked it down, and we go again.
It's Catalan ball. vitally.
Where's the creativity in the centre of the field? That's like not that
McAlorum,
creative,
short
is it?
ball, Garcia. A metre short. Drinkwater. Sam Tompkins stepping, shut down by Hughes.
Release now. 3.
Michael McAlorum again.
4. Move.
Amateur career just down the road at Stanningley. Joel Tompkins, no way through, has to flick the ball back for Fuad Yaha. He can't make progress. Good tackle, Darryl Clark. Sam Tompkins, Maloney, last one, last chance. McMeekin, robbed by Curry.
A strong defence from the Wolves. They have been under some enormous pressure. Widdop goes in. King forces the error from Mike McMeekin. They're looking to shift the ball, but it's the last player they're running it. The first few plays, there wasn't enough questions asked of the Warrington try line.
You know, Warrington's attack probably for the last 6 to 12 months has come under a lot of criticism. You certainly couldn't say that about the defence. That's been fantastic for the last 15 or 20 minutes. It isn't certainly as entertaining or eye-catching to watch defence as opposed to watching attack when teams make breaks and score tries. But what they have achieved there collectively to prevent Catalan from scoring any more points. Toby King now spins out of the tackle and gets them rolling forward.
After all that defence, Warrington moving into the attack and plenty to look forward to here on Sky Sports. West Tigers against Gold Coast from 8:25 in the morning. Sky Sports Arena and main event. Then it's the Women's Challenge Cup. You can see highlights Monday evening, 8:45. York against Wigan, Sky Sports Arena and Sky Sports Mix. And John Duffy of the Lee Centurions will be Brian's guest on the coaching manual. That's Wednesday, 8:30, Sky Sports Arena. 4 minutes to go. Warrington all offside. Too little, too late, as far as Catalan are concerned.
Not necessarily, Ben, not necessarily. We see back-to-back tries in the league. We've just got to get the first one.
Okay, Sam, go.
False start for Lange. Joel Tompkins. Chris Hill in there, Matt Davis in there for Warrington. Drinkwater, Maloney, McMeekin forward, off McMeekin, couldn't take the ball. Curry picks it up. Warrington have it back.
Well, it can be a big strike play, can't he, Mike McMeekin, over on the right-hand side, targeting halfbacks, coming back against those inside shoulders, but defensively, they've done a number on him. They pulled the trigger, they've gone in, and they've forced the errors on the big man. In the last 12 years, this Warrington club, a lot of these players have been to Wembley, they've played in Challenge Cup finals. In the last 12 years, they've been to 6, they've won 4. And probably my memories of Warrington over recent years in those Challenge Cups are the size of Adrian Morley's biceps, lifting that cup. They want to get there again.
Toby King for Warrington. Good. Still going. We go downstairs. Jenna's got injury news on Darryl Clark.
Yeah, Darryl Clark just came off pointing to his left pec. I just spoke to him. He said he actually heard it in the first half. He said not too concerned, but he has come off.
Here is Davis for Warrington. Gets away from one. Last tackle. Turnover.
Give it in, man. Hold Ben. Hold Ben. Let me get the 10 set. Get square markers. On you, Ben. Go.
Garcia plays the ball inside the last 2 minutes. Race is run for Catalan Dragons.
Move. Hold. Go 1. 2. Move now.
Toby King can look forward to another Challenge Cup semi-final. He's got tries in 4 of them. Maloney back on the inside. Cassiano put to ground by Davis. Here is McAlorum. Maloney again. Drinkwater through the gap. Austin scrambling to make the tackle. Alongside Inglis there. Sam Tompkins. Joe Chan on the field for his debut. Just 19 years old, son of the ex-Dragons forward and current team manager, Alex.
He looks like him, doesn't he?
Give him the ball, mate.
Big, formidable forward his dad was, let me tell you.
Time off.
And that'll be the frustration part of the game as well for Steve McNamara. They just broke Warrington up centre field, and yeah, Warrington have done an awful lot of work defensively, but be really frustrated.
Steve McNamara, assisted by Alex Chan, who played in that Wembley final, the first one at the new stadium against St Helens back in 2007. This is Mamo for Warrington. Meanwhile, inside the last 20 seconds, job done as far as the Wolves are concerned. All the damage done really in the opening half an hour as Widdop takes it forward for Warrington. As the hooter goes, and referee calls a halt to this contest, and it's Darrell Clark, the hero, as Warrington take their place in the Challenge Cup semi-finals in 2021. Steve Price closing in on a third Wembley visit in 4 years. He's just 80 minutes away. You can see all the smiles. Greg Inglis, a great display at full-back. It's the end of the road for Steve McNamara and the Catalan Dragons. 2 tries from Darrell Clark. McMeekin hit back in that second period for the Catalan Dragons, but not enough. Blake Austin, a late inclusion at the expense of Stefan Ratchford before kick-off, but that reshuffle didn't harm Warrington in the end. They will take their place in the last 4 in 2021. The Warrington Wolves have won this one by 16 points to 6.